If you are 25, you are a third dead in America. Life expectancy in America is 75, rounded to 75, and it's rapidly decreasing due to drug overdose deaths and other forms of self-inflicted destructive behaviors. You will spend the next 40 years of your life paying off the debt for a worthless degree, a worthless piece of paper that literally did not help you at all get a job. If you worked when you got out of high school, you would be infinitely better off, because 11% of American millennials have over $100,000 in debt, and it's rising. 1 in 3 millennials have an average of $37,000 or more, while living in an economy with no security and no job, which most of you don't, because most of you people go to college, and I call you college-educated idiots, because that's what you are. You're a disaster. You're a epic failure of a human, and you will rack up debt and you will never have any net worth, so you'll never be able to build wealth. You're a financial catastrophe. You spend 1/3 of your life sleeping. All the time you spend commuting and wasting time doing other things that are irrelevant. You're probably 2/3 dead. Because think about it, you're not going to be building any wealth for the next 40 years if you're having a hot little date with Sallie Mae. You know, if you're dating Sallie Mae, now that woman does not go away. Either you pay her off in full or you die, says Dave Ramsey, and he's right. You are screwed. You're going to be eating beans and butt for the next 20 years to pay off that debt, and as you so desperately should. And you're going to be working your entire life for a job you probably hate. I'm not going to do that, and the reason is because I didn't have the money to go to college. I grew up poor, so I didn't go. I worked instead. I'm debt-free at the age of 23. None of you could say the same. You're brainwashed sheep, you know, and I love the fact that my whole generation is suffering on a massive level, because you deserve every single bit of it. I mean, how stupid can you be? 2/3 of millennials racked up worthless degrees. I mean, think about it for a second. Well, you don't have to, I mean, you really don't think. Sociology, fashion design, theater arts, communications, speaking your voice because you're all raised up by single mothers, psychology, liberal arts, fine arts, political science, criminal justice, hospitality, and tourism. There is no future for you. There are no jobs that exist that need those degrees. There is no consuming these jobs in a capitalist society. So I wonder, if 51% of college students are dropouts, why is it such a good investment? You do realize you're going to be paying off and eating beans and butt for the next 10 years at least to pay off that debt, as you so desperately should. As you so desperately should. And 50% of Americans on individualized income, according to Social Security, make less than $30,000 a year. This is American workers, by the way, according to the Social Security. So it's a really reliable statistic, much more than a poll, because people lie. And I'm not saying the government doesn't routinely lie, but when you have evidence of people's tax returns, it tends to be just a tad bit more real. Here's the good thing about reality, is it doesn't care how you feel. Like when you go to get a car, when you go to buy a house and you get denied, it will burst your bubble, no matter how much you lie to yourself saying that college is worth it. It's not. It's not, unless you're going in for a trade, which, by the way, electrician is very hard. And you know what? With all the talk of feminism, we do need more female plumbers. They pay really well, and if you want to pay off that debt, and you want to be a man and get a job and actually do something productive, not be a parasite for once in your life, you can do that. But you're gonna have to suffer. It's not gonna be without pain. And you are gonna pay for your stupidity, and that's what I find beautiful. I call the student loan crisis a crisis of beauty. A crisis of beauty indeed. But they will all be on the corner, begging for cheaper prices, eating beans and rices. I don't want to live that lifestyle because I don't want to be an idiot. I like doing whatever I want, whenever I want. And that's what I'm working towards in my life. So it's best to start a small business or do something where you don't have to worry about anybody. You don't have to slave away to a job that you don't like and that you could potentially get fired from with no stability at all in this economy. So having a worthless degree is actually disastrous, because not only do you have potentially $100,000 under your belt that you're never gonna pay off probably in your lifetime, you're gonna be forever broke, and I'm not. And free college, free college, free college, we need Bernie Sanders, Bernie Sanders, Bernie Sanders. Well, here's the problem with Bernie Sanders, is that you're all screwed. Because let's say if you do, now here's where I win, because let's say if you make college free tomorrow, it's really thievery, you're basically stealing from other people who actually produce in society. So you are a parasite. Let's not make any mistake. It's not, well, when they say free college, automatically in your mind replace it with thievery, because you're gonna be paying for it after you get out of college. So let's say you worked so hard to pay off all that debt. Let's say you become a doctor, and you have $200,000 in student loans and you pay them all off. You know, you pay them all off. You work so many years. If college becomes quote unquote free, your tax dollars will rise. So it's going to actually hurt you on an unbelievable level, because you went to college for what? To lose all your money. You went to college to never actually build wealth or anything. Because let's say if socialism does get enacted, now you don't have any income that's yours. It all goes to other people who you don't know. And as it should. And if college becomes free, and you reward parasites and you punish people who succeed, I will go ahead and rack up every single worthless degree. And I will go to college for quote unquote free, because I never went. And I started making my own money. And it's beautiful, because I could actually spend it. I can live my life in the way that I want to without being a total idiot. And I call them college-educated idiots. I call them college-educated idiots because they're extremely dumb. They're in a indoctrination camp for basically preschool all the way to college, and for 20 years after, maybe even 40, maybe even your entire life. And by the way, that's the beautiful thing about math, is it doesn't care about how you feel. It will come in there and burst your little bubble that in your own little world that you live in. And that's what's beautiful about reality, is it doesn't have any qualms with anybody. It's just nature doing its work. And when you try to buy a house, when you try to get a good car, when you try to do anything, or you try to live on your own, that reality is going to come there and smack you in the face. It's going to wipe that grin off you, as it so desperately should. A lot of you are smart, so I'm just rivaling it. And millennials say they love equality, so you should get down on both knees and suck the ground that I walk on. So I'm going to make it clear, yes. And if I was in charge of Sallie Mae, which I probably am thinking about becoming a debt collector, I would raise up your interest rate times 200 from what it is right now. And also, not to mention the fact that when you don't have a job, because I know most of you don't, because when you get out of college, I know your degree is worthless. I don't have to sit up here and act like, oh, you know, I'm still trying to get a job and, you know, it's going to work out. No. There is no job that exists for your degree. You could have gotten your current job out of high school. I know that. I don't need you to say it, because I know that there's none that exists. You were scammed. You were shammed. Pay off the debt. I didn't sign on the dotted line. You signed on the dotted line. You're going to be paying it on the dotted line. And as you so desperately should. So we need more female proctologists. We do need more plumbers. We need more electricians. We need more producing in society rather than parasitism. They're too colossally stupid to not spend money that they don't have. You know, they're too monumentally and colossally stupid with their finances that they don't realize that when you go into debt, you're losing so much money because that interest rate is kicking your butt. I mean, Sallie Mae's got a finger up your butt. Like, let's not lie about it. Sallie Mae is really doing her dirt on you. I mean, she turned out to be an abusive woman, didn't she? And she doesn't go away. She doesn't go away. You got to pay her off in full. It's going to be very, very hard to go bankrupt on student loans. It's very, very difficult. You never will. And yeah, you're all screwed financially. So even under a socialist system, the people who did work hard to pay off all that debt and really went to college in the first place to get the prize, I love it, because you're going to get screwed now. And as you so desperately should. The people who succeed in the system are the lazy people. And I didn't go to college. Really, I was lazy, but I got up and I started working. And you know what's beautiful? Is that all the hard-working people, such as the doctor, as I was talking about, they're gonna get screwed. They worked so hard to pay off their debt, and what do they know? They're gonna be paying off everybody else. And they should, and they should. And they so desperately should. And that smug little grin is going to get kicked off your face. And I love it. I love it. It's a crisis of beauty. And you went on a hot date. It's a hot date with salliemae. Right? You went on a hot date with salliemae. Anyway. It's like, you didn't major in liberal arts. You didn't major in theater arts. You didn't major in that. You majored in debt. Like, and I'll speak in your language because y'all raised up by single mothers. And you talk like this, and you're walking on the Western Front. You know, yeah, we got all the debt. You got all the debt. I mean, I don't even know how you do that. It's really appalling. Anyways, so yeah, check out my channel, subscribe to it. If you liked the video, thumbs it up, and if you didn't, just thumbs it down. Anyways, let me know what you think. But yeah, you're all screwed financially. So that's why I call it a beautiful crisis. A beautiful crisis indeed. We will be on the street corner begging for cheaper prices. And I wouldn't normally have this attitude if it wasn't for all of the smug people talking and I just want to give you the equality you so desperately deserved. Get on both knees and thank me.